Greetings, brothers. Wasn't sure I was going to be filming this week, but here we are. Fun little video, something different. Normal service for tactics and stuff will resume next week. Alright, let's jump in. So, you may notice two things in this video, and normally I would ask you to subscribe and like the video and all that sorts of nonsense. If you want to do that, it's always super appreciated, so you can do that down below. But thing number one is, I am literally inside in October in Scotland and wearing a t-shirt and no gloves, right? The gloves may have to go because, one second, I ain't even wearing socks. It's so warm in here. So, happy days, we are moved in. I am working to get everything unpacked. There's a lot, and I had to do so many journeys to put all my Warhammer into foam to move it from place to place. My back is killing me. Hopefully I've lost some weight this week as well, because every day has been like 20,000 steps. So it's been brutal, and you know what, half the house is still a disaster zone. But downstairs and this room are decent. The bedroom is coming along decent. So yeah, maybe I'll give you a quick tour of what I've managed to do so far, and then we are going to talk a little bit about strategy. Andrew has been bugging me all week to make not a tournament list, I guess sort of a tournament list. We're doing our Plastic Crackheads. I'm sure some of you guys have heard me mention Plastic Crackheads. This is the other channel that I do with Andrew, Colin, Brett, Kev. They play all their different armies, Scott as well, I guess, and Gav sometimes too. We have another channel. The channel is basically just live battles of us playing, and they usually go out on Thursday nights at 7:30. I'll put a link in the video description. If you're not subscribed to the Plastic Crackheads and you want to see us just play, something to note though, I like to be a little bit more professional on the I like to be more professional on the BA Commander channel, which is what the channel is called now. And I think maybe that's just sort of the repertoire I have with you guys, is like, we are serious, we talk about tactics, we talk about how to win games, and that's kind of how I like to enjoy Warhammer. Winning, I guess. However, on the Plastic Crackheads channel, for lack of a better phrase, they like to shoot the shit. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of banter, there's a lot of playful insults, and it's all in good fun, right? Like, we're all very good friends, none of it's taken seriously, but that channel is definitely, so if that's one you want to see, you know, like if you want to see, you know, a Games Workshop battle report on Warhammer Plus where everything's very scripted and you know, it's very user friendly, whereas if you just want to see Andrew and Colin insult each other, then that is what the Plastic Crackheads are. And yeah, so they're doing a tournament over in Plastic Crackheads, and it's going to be double elimination, which means you get, basically, if you lose a game, you go into loser's bracket, and you can still fight your way back through the loser's bracket and win the tournament. So it's double elimination. Everyone else on the Plastic Crackheads has apparently submitted the lists. I haven't honestly even looked at anything Warhammer, probably like 4 days. The main thing I was doing was unpacking, and yeah, I mean, like, I'm filming this at 11 o'clock, or maybe not 11. Alright, yeah, I'll show you. Look, 10:46. So I'm filming this at 11 o'clock. I normally put out a video on Friday. I just got a lot of my Warhammer stuff packed away. There's still some to do. I'll give you a quick scoofy round of what I've been doing, but I haven't looked at any of their lists. I think Andrew played Colin the other night with, Colin was making Death Guard, Volkite, Contemptors. He's probably running 3 of them. He's probably running 3 Plague Burst Crawlers, because Colin likes to do that. Probably a bunch of Flesh Mowers. So the Death Guard lists is going to be tough. Andrew said he was not going to be running those buggies that are crazy strong, so I imagine Andrew will be running Sisters. But yeah, so I need to build this list. So that's what we're going to do in a minute. And I'm just going to run through Battlescribe. I haven't got anything prepped. I'm just going to make a list, and I'm going to talk about why I'm picking things, and hopefully it'll be interesting. And that's going to be the whole video this week. So all else, excuse me. the only other thing I really need to say is thank you for the support. Thank you for understanding while I have been very busy this week. I should be live on Sunday. I don't see any reason that I couldn't do the Army List show. And you know what? If everything goes well, on Saturday night, maybe we'll do some painting. I do have that tournament, another tournament coming up that I need to get ready for. So, yeah, let me look at that too. Okay, so the main thing I want to say is I have finally gone ahead and written and organised models into trays. For example, Sanguinary Guard and characters. Yes, here we go. All of them together in one place, not spewing across a million different boxes. Vanguard veterans and Blade Guard veterans. There we go. Infiltrators and assault intercessors. Yes. Oh, there's a tech marine in there as well, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. So I've finally gone ahead and tried to organise all the models for Warhammer, and yeah, and also kind of arrange all this stuff that I have. And I even found this, which I must have had for 30 years at this point. It's a little bit worn, but it's a pretty cool centerpiece, I guess. So if anyone's got any questions about anything that's here, please let me know. And yeah, let's just jump into the little bit of tactic stuff we're going to be doing today, and hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you, I'm sure, on a live stream or on a proper tactics video next week. Peace. Yeah, so all I've done so far is literally open Battle Scribe. We're going to create a new roster, I guess, and hopefully this is interesting. We're going to go Blood Angels, obviously, and we're going to go 2,000 points. And I think, as much as I want command points, I think I'm going to start with Vanguard and Patrol. I've had a lot of success with these. I like them. I think you can score pretty well with both. So let's start there. So if you've never used Battle Scribe, I guess this will be a cool tutorial. We are going to add ourselves Patrol detachment for the Blood Angels, and I guess we're also going to add ourselves a Vanguard detachment for the Blood Angels. Right. I'll put a link to Battle Scribe in the video description. It's good. It's really great for making lists. I'm sure most people know that, but anyway. Alright, so we select the battle size to begin with. So we are on Strike Force, which is 2,000 points, 12 CP. Yep. And we also set our chapter, which is Blood Angels, which looks to already have been set. So let me just remove that, and we're good. Right, and there might be something else we need to set, but for now, let's make a start. So this is going to be my patrol detachment. You have to bear with me because I'm exhausted from all the moving and stuff, so I may make a mistake, but here we go. So we're going to want a captain on a bike, who I'm going to make a chapter master on a bike. Where is he? Captain on a bike. Here we go, and I'm going to make him my chapter master, and I'm going to make him my warlord, so I refund my detachment cost of 2 CP. I'm going to give him armor Indomitus because I think that the extra wound and the ability to turn on the 3+ invulnerable save once per phase in the game is super good. I am also going to give him Gift of Foresight because I think it's a great warlord trait, possibly one of the best in the game right now. Reroll 1 hit, 1 wound, 1 save every turn, so 10 free rerolls kind of throughout the game. I'm going to give him an Infernal Pistol because rerolling a hit and wound with an Infernal Pistol I think is awesome. I'm also going to give him a Thunderhammer, same thing applies, rerolling a hit and a wound with a Thunderhammer is awesome. I'm going to then put Angel's Exemplar on him to give him 1 additional warlord trait, and I am going to take for my additional warlord trait Artisan of War, and that's going to allow me. What's Artisan of War again do? We can give the Warlord a special issue war gear, Adamantium Mantle, Artificer Armor, Mastercrafted Weapon, or Digital Weapons. I'm going to give him Adamantium Mantle so he can shrug on 5s. So, yeah, I mean, he's super great. I'm also going to take my Librarian with a jump pack, and he's going to be our Chief Librarian. he's going to take Might of Heroes to give one of my characters +1 strength, +1 toughness, +1 attack. I'm going to take Null Zone to remove opponents' invulnerable saves, and I'm going to take Psychic Fortress to give my guys a 5-up aura. All of these are good choices. I think the Librarious Discipline is a lot stronger than the Sanguinary Discipline. I also want to give this guy a bolt gun, because why not? It's free. And I want to make him a hero of the chapter, so that we can give him Psychic Mastery. I'm going to do the maths on Psychic Mastery in a video soon, but trust me when I say Psychic Mastery is going to make some of your key Warlord powers, etc., a lot more reliable. Where the hell is Psychic Mastery? Here we go. Cool, so that's my 2 HQ in this detachment. We are then going to move on to troops, and I'm going to take Infiltrators. No, not. I'm going to take Incursors in this detachment, sorry. So just 1 squad of Incursors. That's all we need. Elites. I think I'm going to take Sanguinary Guard. And I think I'm going to take 7 of them. And I prefer to take mine with a mix of swords and axes. I'm going to take 4 axes. And I'm going to take an Infernal Pistol on 1 as well, because I usually feel like that's valuable. Other elite choices, I guess, let's go for a Redemptor Dreadnought. They're very reliable. One of the best gun platforms, I guess, that you can run as a Blood Angel. I'm going to take Macroplasma, Onslaught Cannon, and take the Storm Bolters over the Fragstorm. I think they're more reliable. And we'll take the Rocket Pods as well. Why not? So this is looking pretty solid so far. Where are we? 824 points so far. Okay, we're also going to take some Incursors. No, Inceptors. Yeah, like I'm tired, sorry. Inceptors. And we have them with the Bolters. I think they're really good with the Bolters. They can definitely do work. And I'm going to take a single attack bike here. No, that's an Assault Squad. Remove. An attack bike, and I'm going to give it a multi-melta, because an attack bike with multi-melta can do some serious work. Okay. That kind of almost finishes this attachment. I'm probably going to take my Whirlwind though. I still like my Whirlwind with the cheaper option, the Castellan Launcher, 125 points. Mainly for suppression fire, but can occasionally do some damage, 2d6 shots. Yeah, occasionally do some damage against weaker enemies. You know, toughness 3 enemies, it's going to wound on 2s, and still strength 6. You can always use it to kill toughness 3 enemies that are holding objectives that are OBSEC, for example. Yeah, so that is my patrol detachment. Let's move on. Let me close down these things. I always find it's easiest in Battlescribe if you close them for the detachments you're done with, I guess. Did we take any relics there? No. I'll leave that one open. We might need some relics, but I'm not sure we're going to have any. The second detachment then, my HQ, we're going to start with a Tetmarine. A Primaris Tetmarine. We're going to make him Master of the Forge to give him the repair of 3. The flat 3 repair every turn. And I'm also going to take Soul Warden. We're going to make him a hero of the chapter as well. And we're going to take Soul Warden. Which is going to give me an aura around him of a 5-up. Feel no pain against mortal wounds. So if I have him positioned correctly and the enemy are doing a lot of mortal wounds from Psychic, then I should be good, or I should be a bit more survivable. This is a Vanguard detachment, so we're not going to take any troops. We're just going to skip right over troops there. We've got about 700 points left. Typically, I like to run company veterans. So I guess if we go back here, I get to include a squad of company veterans for free because I have a captain in this squad here. So let's include company veterans, and I usually like to give them drop their bolt pistol and take storm shields. That's a storm bolter. Just so that they're survivable. Oh, drop the bolt pistol, sorry.
storm shields, and I usually drop the bolt gun and take a chainsword or a lightning claw. I guess we'll take chainswords for now, and we'll see. Do you know what? We'll take a lightning claw on the sergeant, and we'll take a chainsword on the other guy, and we'll see how we are looking for points. Okay. The second detachment then. I think I'm going to take another attack bike. I like to have two. I like to have them in separate squads. I always think they're useful coming in from the edge of the board, doing some damage with those multi-meltas. We got 660 points left. Right. What do I typically take? My last list ran some eliminators. And I also ran a relic contemptor for testing purposes. Now, I thought the relic contemptor was very good. Ran with the double Volkites, and I also included the Cyclone missile launcher, so 36 inches, and it's a very shooting heavy platform. It doesn't benefit from Psychic Fortress so much as like a Redemptor does. But I did think the Relic Contemptor was very good. Is it a case of am I going to run two Relic Contemptors, or I'm going to run two Redemptors like I was running before in the last tournament, or are we going to include the Relic Contemptor to spew out some mortal wounds? Potentially. I have also been running at the moment a squad of Terminators, and these are old school Terminators with teleport homers, so we can make them a little bit more mobile. The Sergeant, I guess there's no weapon options here. He has his power sword and his Stormbolter, but the other four we can drop their power fists, get rid of all of them, and we'll take 4 Terminators with chain fists. So this is what I'm working on at the moment. I have them right here in front of me on my desk. Maybe you saw that when I was spinning the camera around, and that gives us 400 some points to work with, but we have to get this other Redemptor into the list for sure, and probably another squad of elites. Let's see, so if we did include another Redemptor, the thing I like with the Redemptors is you don't have to pay command points to include them. You obviously have to pay the command points to include the Relic Contemptors, but I mean they're still very good. I'm drawing a complete blank at this point on what the rest of my list looks like. I did have Eliminators recently with Las Fusils on a couple of them, and I kind of liked them for 85 points. I mean, it means that I have the Sergeant with the Instigator Carbine, so we can shoot, we can move, shoot, move. I had the other guys with Las Fusils. So we basically got two 36-inch las cannons hitting on 2s with a flat 3 damage, which I actually much prefer the flat 3 damage over the d6 of a las cannon. And these guys in cover have a 1-up save, so, and they can get rerolls because they are core, so I think that they're not bad at all. 195 points. I feel like I'm missing something obvious. What do I normally have in my list that I am missing? I have my 3 characters, I have my 2 Redemptors, I have my Whirlwind, I have my 2 attack bikes, I have my Inceptors, I have the Sanguine Guard. Oh, of course, it is none other than the Blade Guard veterans, and we will have a squad of 5 of these guys, because Blade Guard veterans are awesome. They actually have more attacks. 5 Blade Guard veterans have more attacks than 5 Sanguine Guard, bet you didn't realise that. And they basically have the exact same weapons. The swords are strength 5, minus 3, flat 2 damage. Someone actually asked on a stream, like, should we could mastercraft, we could someone said something about, let me have a look here, because we could Maybe Battle Scribe doesn't have the option. Huh. You could definitely... My codex is right here. Blood Angels Codex, page... Bear with me. Page 49, Angels Ascendant. Use this stratagem before the battle. Select one Blood Angels model in your army that has the Sergeant in their profile. That model can have one of the following special issue war geared. Mastercrafted weapon, which he couldn't have because the sword already is mastercrafted. Digital weapons, fresh render grenades, quake bolts. Huh. So quake bolts make sense. I think someone thought maybe you could mastercraft the Blade Guard Veteran's sword to make it 3-bit because it's already mastercrafted. You couldn't do that because they are already mastercrafted power swords. They are some people might think they're the same as the Blood Angel one, I guess, but no, they're the same as the Sanguinary Guard sword. Sorry. So yeah, no, that's not an option. Okay, so I'm not sure what you can do with those Blade Guard Veterans beyond what we have at the moment. Right. So we've got 20 points to play with. Is there anything exciting we can do with those 20 points that's going to provide a lot of value to this list? Now, the Blade Guard only have an option of getting like a new pistol, which is not going to really help me. The Terminators could run. Let me see. Could run Assault Cannon for 10. We don't quite have the 25 points for the Cyclone Missile Launcher. And the Heavy Flamer for 5. That might be an option. Let's think about that. The Tap Bikes, I only have the models with multi-metals on them, so there's nothing I can change there. The Eliminators, I guess I could run it the other way, where the Sergeant has the Las Fusel, and the other two guys just have the Bolt Carbines. It doesn't quite... We've talked about Eliminators a lot, and I don't think I don't think a squad of 3 Eliminators with snipers do all that much work. I mean, maybe against Sisters of Battle characters. But yeah, overall, I think I prefer the Eliminators the way they are with 2 guys with Las Fusels. The Whirlwind, there's not much options we could do there. We could give it a Hunter-Killer missile, maybe. It's a pity the Redemptors can't take Hunter-Killer missiles. Inceptors, there's no options there. Sanguinary Guard, I mean, we could drop the Infernal Pistol. That puts us down to 25 points left, but I don't know how that helps us. I mean, it would be nice to get one more Sanguinary Guard and have an 8-man squad. But again, I don't know how I can really make that work. The Company Veterans, there's 2 of them. We could change their weapons, make them slightly cheaper. We could have one of them drop their Storm Shield. I mean, they're primarily there to score points. So if one of them dropped their Storm Shield, that would save us 4. That would leave us 24 points. If the other one dropped his Lightning Claws, that would leave us 27 points. I suppose at 27 points, you could then drop the Infernal Pistol and Sanguinary Guard and just run an 8-man Sanguinary Guard. That is the most tempting thing, because as much as I like the Infernal Pistol and the Sanguinary Guard, it is just one shot. It is pretty hit or miss. It is very short range, so quite often your Sanguinary Guard, like the strength of the Sanguinary Guard's shooting usually comes from the Assault Bolters, right? Like usually get a couple of rounds of shooting from the Assault Bolters, and then you're like getting that one shot from the Infernal Pistol, and it's kind of random if it hits or not. If it hits, great. If it doesn't, it's annoying. Another thing that I actually thought about, I haven't run this yet, so maybe I should just run it because it'll be fun. Take some sort of special weapon on the librarian, can he actually run a combi melta? So the librarian psyker could run a combi melta and then null zone. When you do the null zone, or you can run an infernal pistol for 5 points. When you do the null zone, what am I trying to say? You do null zone so that the enemy has no invulnerable save, and then you shoot them at point blank range with an infernal pistol. Yes, he only has weapon skill of 3. Sorry, ballistic skill of 3, but still, it's potential to like kill this pretty tough character. By turn 3, infernal pistols go to -5 because of assault doctrine, so nothing saves. You know, like even on a 2-up save, you still can't make a save. I guess if you have a 1-up save, you can maybe save on a 6, but not that many things in the game have a 1-up save. I guess you would have to drop his bolt gun for that. It's probably not a huge issue, though. I mean, he occasionally does a wound with his bolt gun. So, infernal pistol could go down on the librarian. One of these Vanguard veterans, I guess, could pick up a lightning claw from his chainsword. And finally, the Terminators can pick up one heavy weapon, so we lose one guy that has just a chain fist and a stormbolter. I think the chain fists are a lot better than the power fist these days because, well, power fist is always just flat 2, right? So against anything that's -1 damage, it's just going to be 1 damage, which sucks. The chain fist is D3, so against anything that's -1 damage, I guess if you roll like 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's still 1 damage, but if you roll 5 or 6, it's 2 damage. So against, I guess essentially against anything that's -1 damage, like Death Guard, then 33% of the time you still do the 2 damage, which is decent. But if it's vehicles, it's always flat 3. So against Death Guard vehicles, 100% of the time it's 3. So I like this a lot. I'm also going to take an assault cannon. I tried the cyclone missile launcher, and I wasn't the hugest fan. I mean, I could. So here, let me see for a second. So what does this list start with? It would have been 10 CP -4. So I'm sitting on 6 CP at the moment. And I tend to reserve my company veterans, which are 3 power level, and each of the tap bikes, which are 2 power level. So that gives me a 1 CP reserve for both the tap bikes and the company veterans. The company veterans can usually perform like retrieve Octarius data. The tap bikes can come in and snipe something. I guess there's probably a good argument to be made here that we could have gone the other way and we could have had an 8-man Sanguinary Guard. Arguably that's probably pretty strong as well. Or we could have gone the other way, I suppose, like, you know, I'm running Terminators here and 2 attack bikes. We could drop both the attack bikes and the Terminators and take, I got room in this detachment, and take 2 Volkite Contemptor Dreads. I feel that would be very strong as well. I'd actually have 20 points left over, so maybe if I went that way, I'd probably drop the Infernal Pistol on this Librarian and then have one of the Volkite Contemptor Dreads have a Cyclone Missile Launcher, or even, that would probably be it. So you'd have one Dread with 2 Volkite arms and another one with 2 Volkites and a Cyclone Missile Launcher. However, if you did that, you're going to have to pay 2 CP for that, so you're starting with 4. And I guess at that point, if I'm starting with 4 CP, I don't feel like I can play 1 CP to reserve the company veterans. It's a tough one. Volkite Contemptors are very, very good at the moment. They seem to average 2 or 3 mortals every turn, plus they make you make a boatload of regular saves. They also have very long range. I could pivot into some sort of battalion, I guess, that has that, but this is what I've been running. This is very, very similar to my tournament list that I just ran. At the tournament that I just ran, the only difference was, let me think. The only difference, it's the Eliminators. The Eliminators weren't in that tournament. What did I have instead? The Eliminators and the Terminators weren't there. Yes, okay. So rather than the Eliminators and the Terminators, which are 290 points, I had a Primaris Chaplain on the bike, which was like 115, and 6 Vanguard Veterans, which was 180, which I think. And then I didn't have the Infernal Pistol on that Librarian. So yeah, that's where I was. That's what I ran at the tournament, and I liked it a lot. And I almost went 5-0. So I think that's why I want to stay with something similar. I'm going to save this, and we're going to call it Plastic Crackheads Tournament. So if you're still here and you're still watching, thank you so much. I hope you learned something in some of my thought processes about the list. This list was kind of very heavily influenced by what I'm already running and what I know is strong and what I think is going to do well. Bear in mind, I guess my Tech Marine is going to make me shrug a good amount of mortals coming in. So if he's doing 6 mortals a turn from 2 Volkite Contemptors against me, hopefully I'm going to shrug 2 of them, on average 2 every turn. So maybe that's going to provide good value. I guess if you've got Volkite Contemptor and you're shooting at a Redemptor, let's say you're going to hit on 3s, so you get your 16 shots, you hit on 3s, gives you about 11 hits, 11 slightly higher than average. You're only going to wound on 5s, so you're only going to make a third of the wounds. So you're only going to make the enemy make 4 saves and potential a couple of mortals that we said. The saves are going to be -1 or no AP, so at worst 2 are going to go through and they're -1 damage. So yeah, I feel like the Redemptors are actually legitimately good against the Volkite Contemptors, especially if we can shrug continuously because of the Primaris Tech Marine with Soul Warden. I think that's actually really nice. But if you get value out of this video, let me know in the comments, and I have to make another tournament list for SDO, which is coming up second week in November. And you know what? It's starting to get a little bit cold now, so I'm going to put my slippers on. It is now 11:26, so this is definitely an upgrade. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll try and catch you guys on live stream Saturday night, I think, and that's it. By the blood are we made strong, brothers. Peace.